Let's all stand.
Let us put ourselves in the presence of the Lord. Our Heavenly Father, we offer you our thanksgiving. We thank you for everyone gathered here today to walk with you. May we ask you for your blessings and guidance so that the activities set for this undertaking be successful. We ask you to open our eyes to see the wonderful things from this activity. We ask that you open our ears so that we may retain the invaluable knowledge. Open our minds for us to think wisely. Put us with understanding, cooperation, and peace in fulfilling our responsibilities. Open our hearts so that we may receive your everlasting love, and open our spirit so that we may know that you are with us all throughout the day. We ask all this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Please be seated.
All right, so good morning, everyone. Today is the pre-bid conference of the following projects: 24HH0033 up to 24HH0041. But before that, we'll turn over the microphone to Ma'am Sharina to roll call the attendance for today.
Okay, so good morning once again. Before we start our pre-bidding conference, I will call the attendance first. For the Bids and Award Committee, our back chairperson, Adi Manolo B. Madronio Jr., our vice back chairperson, Jeremiah H. Gabuya. For the back members, Maria Dolores Salazar, Maria Luz Branzuela, Japwet M. Salera. And for the back secretariat, your procurement engineer, yours truly, Sharina Batocapala. For the back secretariat members, Jerome Padraki, Arnel Branzuela, Fritz Andrew Asignar, Winmar Pilinya, Sara Bill Solib, Raymond Mateo. For the technical working group, we have Attorney Francis Canetti, Evelyn Kenny Luis Mansueto, Marcelino Cortez IV, Jimwell Rad Talingting, and Corazon J. Amogis. For the NGOs, maybe sa online sila. Okay. And for the prospective bidders, so wala ring nandito. Okay. So now, we will start on the discussion for these 9 contract IDs. Japet Saler.
Good morning, everyone. So we will be discussing each category for this 9 projects. So each category will be discussed by its corresponding designer and programmer. So for the building, we have 3 projects to be discussed by Engineer Asignar. For the road bridge project, to be discussed by Engineer Blizel Bulongon. We have also 3 projects. And for the flood control projects, will be discussed by yours truly. Also 3 projects. So the first one to discuss is Engineer Signar for the building projects.
Thank you, Sir Japet. Okay, for the first contract ID for today's pre-bidding conference, contract ID 24HH 0033. Convergence and Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program or BIP, multipurpose buildings/facilities to support social services, rehabilitation of multipurpose building, Barangay San Roque, Cebu City. With an ABC of 4.95 million and 124 calendar days for its duration. Okay, I'm going to the plans. No? Here, since it is a rehabilitation project, so we have a existing building na no. So it is a covered court, no, a multipurpose building covered court at Barangay San Roque. The landmark of this project is it is near the cathedral church, no. So here, upper left, no, this is our perspective, and our right. So ito yung actual condition sa building. So here lang, no, if we try to look sa picture lang, ang scope of work nato here mainly is the installation of wood planks for the flooring. No? So instead, we are not going to remove the existing concrete, but instead, we're going to apply or install wood planks. And also, here, at the right side of the building, it is an open area, so we're going to install a louver, aluminum louver windows to protect the wood planks, no, para hindi maano sa ulan. And ito, may CR, konting CR lang, we are going to rehabilitate the CR also from removing and replace it sa mga fixtures niya. So ito yung scope of work niya, no, for the part 1, facilities for the engineer. We have provision of combined field office, 4 months, and operation and maintenance of the temporary field office. For the part 2, general requirements includes permits and clearances, project billboard and signboard, safety and health, and mobilization. And for the last scope of work is the 1003 for fabricated materials. That's for the flooring, wood, no? To be specified, no? It is a wood. So this is the floor area of the covered court. It is a 33 by 19 meters. No? So that's it for the Barangay San Roque rehabilitation of Barangay San Roque. For the next contract ID, 24HH0034, Convergence and Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program or BIP, multipurpose buildings/facilities to support social services, rehabilitation of multipurpose building, Barangay Santo Niño, Cebu City, with an ABC of 4.95 million and 120 calendar days for the entire duration. The project is located sa barangay hall mismo ng Santo Niño. No? The landmark of this project kay in between Cathedral and the Santo Niño Church. No? That is where the barangay Santo Niño located. So here, this is the actual photo of the barangay hall. So as you can see, ang cladding nito is sa front lang ng building. At the right and left side of this building, kay wala no, hindi nakaklad. So the end user requested to install the same design aluminum cladding, no, at the left and the right side of the building. Okay? So it is a rehabilitation area, no? Rehabilitation work. For the scope of work, same. For the facilities, we have provision of combined field office and operation and maintenance of the field office. For the general requirements, permits, the project billboard, safety and health and mobilization. For the civil works, we've included removal of structures and obstructions. We're going to remove the existing ceiling at the fourth floor of the building and replace it to a new ceiling using a 4.5 mm fiber cement board on metal frame. Okay? And also, upon removing sa ceiling, we're going to include also the electrical works from conduits to wires to panel board and lighting. And here, for this scope of work, we only focus on the fourth floor wherein we are going to remove the existing ceiling. Okay? And upon removing, we're going to apply the painting works. We have also a scope of works for the roofing, but only a part of it lang sa entire roof, no? That's why we only have 30 square meter. Okay? So, that's it for the Barangay Santo Niño. Here sa plan, it is well shown na all sides that has a schedule of windows, yun lang yung yung dapat i-remove natin and i-replace. Okay. So here I reflect the schedules of doors and windows to be installed. And that's it for the rehabilitation of Barangay Santo Niño. Yung barangay hall mismo ng Santo Niño, yung i-repair natin. For the third contract ID, 24HH0035, Convergence and Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program, Multipurpose Buildings/Facilities to support social services, Rehabilitation of Multipurpose Building, Barangay Careta, Cebu City. It is a building rehabilitation and 4.95 million for the ABC and 120 calendar days for its duration. Ang Careta, it is located before the barangay hall lang yun. No? Since it is a rehabilitation, we have an existing covered court. So, ito po, upper right, no? It is a covered court and ito yung magiging katapusan ng project. So here, the end user requested to fence the building, no? From ito, yung front at rear niya, we're going to install a sliding gate. So anyway, blow up plans will be naman, no? And here, the removal and replacement of pre-painted metal sheets, the installation of new electrical works, no, from lahat-lahat, conduits, wiring, yung fixtures, tsaka yung panel boards. Okay? And here, sa flooring niya, we're going to install another 10 mm thick na slab to prevent the the place, no, because it is prone for parang may flooding pa ganun ba. That's why we're going to elevate the floor, but we don't have to to remove the flooring. Just na lang. Put another 100 mm. So here, this is the scope of work, no. So for the fabricated materials, we have gate, finishing hardware, and louver windows. Painting works includes for masonry, the rubberized also for the flooring, and steel for the existing mga trusses. The roof framing, we're going to install pre-painted metal sheets. It is a long span rib type. fabricated metal roofing for gutters, flashing, and ridge roll. No? And electrical works and plumbing works. The plumbing works includes the downspouts only. Okay. So here, so ito yung ano, magiging ano na, rubberized na yung flooring ng gym na ito. So, that's it, no? The roofing shown na i-replace natin yung whole roof area. And the blow-ups for the gate, ito po, yung mga material na gagamitin. Yung mga roller, yung mga ano niya. Okay. So, ito po, no? Showing the electrical plans. Yun. And again, the project is located ano lang, sa Careta, before the Barangay Careta. So that's it for the 3 building projects to be discussed as of today. Next to be presented by Engineer Salera.
Okay, good morning. So we will skip first the 3 road projects. So we will proceed first to the flood control projects now. So for contract ID 24HH0039 with a contract name of 002, Protect Lives and Properties Against Major Floods, Flood Management Program, construction, rehabilitation of flood mitigation facilities within major river basins and principal rivers, construction of flood mitigation structure along Guadalupe River, Barangay Sapang Daku, Cebu City, with an approved budget of the for the contract of 49 million and a contract duration of 201 calendar days. So let me show you the DED plans for the specific project. Okay, so we have the breakdown of the total length of the project. In the right river bank, we have to construct at least 461 meters. The left river bank, 390 meters. And a total length of 854, including the construction of box culvert structure. So, if familiar kayo sa Sapang Dako, so it is a tributary of the Guadalupe River. So, we have already constructed several years back sa mga revetment structure. So, this time, we have to protect the scoured area, scoured revetment structure since there were instances na nakita natin that people make a living dito sa river by extracting sa mga sand. So may mga sand and gravel na kukuha sa riverbed natin. So resulting to degradation or magsascour yung structure natin. So mas critical na siya for collapse or overturning, meaning or magbabakol yung existing revetment structure natin. So we have to protect the foundation to avoid incident or to avoid damage sa mga constructed natin na mga revetment structures. So the main location or the main landmark for the project is at the back of Guadalupe Church. No? So facing the Guadalupe Church, we have at the right side of the Guadalupe Church, we have the Kalunasan. The left side is Sapang Dako. So this is the area from the start from the boundary limit of Barangay Kalonasan, Barangay Guadalupe, and Barangay Sapang Dako. So doon tayo mag-start. May mga selected areas na included that a foundation should be reflected or a foundation should be constructed sa ating mga existing revetment structures. Then there is a location in the upstream area of the Sapang-Dako River or Guadalupe River na to construct a box culvert structure. There was an incident already happened here na medyo more than knee depth yung experience na flood nila. So spillway lang kasi yon. So we have to remove the spillway then to construct a box culvert para kahit umulan or may baha, may passage or may access yung mga motorist dito. So we have the technical specifications and general specifications of each items of work. Then these are the summary of quantities with a description and its quantities. So we have the combined field office and its maintenance, operation and maintenance, equivalent to the number of calendar days, 6.7 months. We have the provision of communication facility for the engineer. We have to also process permits and clearances, provide project billboard, safety and health program, also mobilization, demobilization. So for the detour or access road, we have to provide this in order our equipment, for the mobility of our equipment. So pagbaba ng ating equipment sa river. So may possibility na may i-remove tayo na existing structure. So we will be restoring it naman, no? Included naman siya sa itong item. Then we have structural concrete, class A, and reinforcing steel are the components sa ating pile cap. Then we have excavation. So my surplus common excavation and my pipe culverts and drain excavation. So two types of excavation for the channel and yung isa is for the box culvert na area. So we have the rubble concrete, structural sheet piles furnished and driven. Then we have pipe culverts, manhole, and concrete covers. So let us see the typical section. So we have the schedule of structures also. Kung asan allocate ang project. So we have the station limits included. So this is the typical section of our revetment structure and our pile cap. Then the manholes. Then this is the foundation, our foot protection of our existing revetment structure, and our billboard. So for the next project, contract ID 24HH0040, same category. The difference is its location, construction of flood mitigation structure along Lahog River, Barangay Tipadilla, Cebu City. So the released allocation of this project is 119 million. However, the approved budget for the contract being utilized is only 55. We have to allocate portion of the allocation for the right-of-way funds to address since this project will entail widening of the river. So may widening siya. So may mga matatamaan na mga structures and properties. So as per instruction and suggestion and recommendation of our right-of-way agent, so we need to allocate bigger fund for the right-of-way in order for us to facilitate and to make payments for the affected structures and lot owners para maigo po yung civil works natin. So the ABC for this project is only 55,624,370 pesos with a contract duration of 281 calendar days. So for the DED plans, we apologize for the inconvenience. So medyo nag-lag lang po yung natin. Okay. So to continue, so we have the length of project, the left and right river bank, and a total length of 192.6. So we have this is a continuation of the ongoing project implementation of this year's funds. So continuation lang po, and for the allocation, so as you can see on the picture, structures already obstructing or nasa river talaga. And we need to address that in order to comply with the recommendation of the Drainage Master Plan. So may mga matatamaan talaga na structure, and that's the reason po na may right-of-way funds tayo for this project. So this is the location. So ang pinaka landmark dito is the Tiheco Elementary School. So let us proceed to the summary of quantities. So these are the items of work considered in the contract. So we have the field office, the provision and its maintenance. Then we have the facility for the engineers, permits and clearances, billboard, safety and health program, mobilization, demobilization, access road, removal of structures and obstruction, concrete. So we have also the reinforcing steel and structural concrete, which are the components of the pile of our pile cap, the excavation, grouted riprap, structural steel sheet piles furnished and driven, concrete cover and manhole. So ito po yung typical section. So we have to attain the required width, clear width of 8 meters. So this is the pile cap. Then there is a U-ditch behind the steel sheet pile to address the runoff sa mga may existing structures. So that is the detail. the typical section, the manholes, the splicing of the sheet pile, billboard, the profile of the river. So that's it for the Tipadilla project. The last one for the flood control is same category, contract ID 24HH0041, construction of flood mitigation structure along Bulacau River. So same with Tipadilla, it has we allocated for the right-of-way funds for this project. Same din na may recommended from the master plan to widen the existing river. So the ABC, the allocation released based on NEP is 150 million, but the approved budget for the contract is only 84,750,000. So more or less, the details for the civil works of Tipadilla and Bulacau River is almost the same. So same items of work considered. So the location, the landmark for this is the previous landfill of Cebu City sa Inayawan. So as you can see, similar items of work being used sa Tipadilla nato, no? So we have field office, permits and clearances, project billboard, safety and health program, mobilization, demobilization, access road, removal of structures and obstruction, structural concrete, reinforcing steel, surplus common excavation, grouted riprap, structural steel sheet piles, furnished and driven, concrete cover, and manhole. So that is the location. Then the typical section. So much wider ang recommended sa Bulacau River. So this is the steel sheet piles, the typical section, the details, the rebar details of the capping, the drainage enforcement, and the end protection work, which is the grouted riprap. So during the termination of the project, so we need to install a end protection work to avoid scouring, no, sa likod ng structure natin, or to avoid yung sa overflowing. The billboard. So that's it for the Bulacau River. So that's it for the 3 flood control projects. So for the road projects discussed by engineers Ruby and Rizel.
Good morning. So for contract ID 24HH0036, Convergence and Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program, access roads and or bridges from national roads leading to major strategic public buildings facilities, improvement of road Barangay Sudlon 1, Cebu City, with an ABC of 4,950,000 and contract duration of 90 calendar days. So for this project, the station limits are at station 22 plus 600 to station 22 plus 888.5 with net length of 288.5. So for this project, we included here the exact coordinates for the location of the project. Here are the start and end coordinates for the project. And as you can see here, this project um, will be connecting from an existing 5-meter width concrete road. And then for the items of work for this project, we have provision of combined field office, laboratory and living quarters building for the engineer, operation and maintenance of temporary field office, laboratory and living quarters building for the engineer, permits and clearances, project billboard, signboard, occupational safety and health program, traffic management, mobilization, demobilization, surplus common excavation, structure excavation, subgrade preparation, aggregate sub-base course, PCCP of 0.20 meter thick, 14 days curing, reinforcing steel grade 40, structural concrete 20.68 28 days curing, stone masonry, pipe culverts of 910 millimeter diameter, and concrete curb precast. So for this project, we have 2 lanes of PCCP with 5 meters with 150 thick sub-base cores. And for this one, we also have construction of stone masonry, side drainage, cross drain, catch basin, and concrete curb. So for the typical cross-section for this project, we have here this one, the 5-meter with PCCP with proposed line canal on the left side. And here is a special cross section for the section with RCPC and stone masonry. So that's all for Sudlon Uno. And I will continue with the second project for Pungol Sibugay. So for contract ID 24HH0037, Convergence and Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program, access roads and or bridges from the national roads leading to major strategic public buildings, facilities, improvement of road, Barangay Pungol, Sibugay, Cebu City, with an ABC of 4,950,000 and 90 calendar days. So for this one, our station limits is at station 17 plus 000 to 17 plus 217.8 with the net length of 217.8. So in the same way, we have here the coordinates for the start and end of the project. And as you can see here, our marker is 5 meters from the existing temporary bridge that they have from the end of this bridge, 5 meters from here. And for the items of work, we have here provision of combined field office, laboratory, and living quarters building for the engineer, operation and maintenance of the temporary field office, laboratory, and living quarters building for the engineer, permits and clearances, project billboard, signboard, occupational safety and health program, traffic management, mobilization, demobilization, surplus common excavation, pipe culverts and drain excavation, embankment from roadway excavation, subgrade preparation, aggregate sub-base course, PCCP of 0.20 meter thick and 14 days curing, reinforcing steel, grade 40, structural concrete, 28 days curing, uh, pipe culverts, 910 millimeter diameter, stone masonry, and concrete curb. So for this project, we have the construction of 2 lanes of 5 meters width with 200 mm thick PCCP and 150 mm thick sub-base course, and a paved shoulder of point 0.3 on the right side, on the same side with the construction of reinforced open line canal. So it also includes placement of concrete curb on the same side with the canal. So the net length is 217.8 linear meters. So for the typical cross-section for this project, we have here the 5-meter width PCCP with open line canal on the right side, and with the paved shoulder of point 0.3 on the right side and sub-base shoulder on the left side. So that's all for Pungol Sibugay. So the next will be discussed by Engineer Blizel.
So for contract ID 24HH0038, construction of road Barangay Pasil with an ABC of 4,950,000 and contract duration is 90 calendar days. So for the DD plan, we have 2 sections, which is section 1 is 3 plus 800 to 3 plus 943, and section 2 is 3 plus 900 to 3 plus 961 with a total length of 197 meters. So for the location, it is near the Forbes Bridge. This is the section 1, and then the section 2 would be this one. So for the location, you can access this, the given coordinates. For the summary of quantities, we have provision of combined field office, which is 3 months. Operation of maintenance of the temporary field office, 3 months. Permits and clearances, 1. Project billboard and signboard, 2. Occupational safety and health program, 1. Traffic management, 3 months. Move demove, 1. Surplus common excavation, 677. Subgrade preparation, 1,410. Aggregate sub-base course, 212. And PCCP with 300 mm thick, 7 days curing is 1,410. So for the plan is 2 lanes. For section 1, we have section 1 we have 5.8 to 11.6 meters width, and then for section 2 we have 4 to 5 meters width. So this is our typical. So that's all for Barangay Pasil.
So thank you, planning staff, for the brief description of each project. So this ends our pre-bid conference for today. If there's any questions from our online viewers, please feel free to contact us or message us online. So we go now to the some announcement for our invitation to bidders.
Good morning once again. For the additional information, no, for the bidders, for the documents to be submitted, these following requirements will be discussed in the preparation of the documents. First, for the technical proposal, the basic eligibility requirement during the submission of bids in the field JEPs, the field JEP certificate of registration and membership must be current and updated in accordance with the provisions of the IRR. And its registration is proper and relevant to the particular type of procurement. In lieu of the Class A eligibility documents uploaded and maintained current and updated in the PhilJEPs. Ang bidders are required to submit their PhilJEPs certificate of registration during bid submission. Next, if ang bidder is not enrolled in CWA, the bidder must attach validated PCAB license and registration, statement of all ongoing and completed government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, whether or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid, within the period provided in the bidding documents, given emphasis as per Department Order number 36 series of 2615. For this, strong emphasis is given to this matter since this will be strictly revalidated and checked upon during the detailed bid evaluation. Non-compliance of this is subjected for sanction per DEO number 17 series of 2015 under the three-strike policy report. Next, statement of single largest completed contract or SLCC, similar to the contract to be bid at least 50% of the ABC. Net financial contracting capacity or NFCC, computation and statement of total assets and liabilities. Next is the mayor's permit or business permit must be present, tax clearance, audited financial statement, duly received by BIR at least 2 years from bidding date, income tax return or ITR. Next is for DTI for sole proprietorship and CDA for cooperatives. For a corporation, there should be a secretary's certificate or board resolution duly notarized indicating the authorized and designated signing official. Next, JVA, if applicable, which requires special PCAB license and registration with percentage of 2 contractors. For the bid security, the contractor can choose among the applicable forms of bid security, which the duration is 120 calendar days per RA 9184. The bidder shall submit a bid security declaration or any form of bid security in an amount not less than the required percentage of the ABC in accordance with the following schedule. Cash or cashier's check issued by the Universal of Commercial Bank, which is 2%. Now, bank draft guarantee or a revocable letter of credit issued by a Universal or Commercial Bank, provided, however, that it shall be confirmed and authenticated by a universal or commercial bank if issued by a foreign bank, which is 2%, surety bond upon demand issued by a surety or insurance company duly certified by the Insurance Commission as authorized to issue such security, which is 5%. Any discrepancy in the amount even a centavo means non-compliant. If the validated exceeds 120 calendar days, the contractor should renew and submit a new bid securing declaration or BSD, considering that all legal, technical, and financial documents should still be valid during award. Number 4, bid security in prescribed form for the amount and validity period. For project requirements, the bidders should attach the organizational chart for the contract to be bid, including the list of contractors' key personnel to be assigned to the contract with their complete qualification data and affidavit of commitment to work on the project of the contractor's key technical personnel, which there must be no duplication of key functions wherein assignments of several projects of key personnel is strongly discouraged because it was found out that some contractors have one project engineer with multiple ongoing contract projects. The 5 key technical personnel must have experience similar to the contract project to be bid at least 50% of ABC. Or as follows, project manager is not necessary a licensed civil engineer. However, the experience should have minimum of 5 years experience of same position and 3 years experience of similar position. Project engineer must be duly licensed civil engineer, should be current and updated with a minimum of 5 years experience of same position, 3 years experience of similar position. For the materials engineer, must be a licensed civil engineer with minimum of 5 years experience of same position, 3 years experience of similar position, duly DPWH accredited materials and quality control engineer. Foreman with minimum of 5 years experience of same position and 2 years experience of similar position. For the safety and health officer with a certificate duly accredited by DOLE as safety officer. The bidder should have a safety officer 3 or SO3 regardless of amount and category, wherein the requirements and appointment, designation, and job description as safety officer. If the company doesn't have a safety officer, they should attach a pledge of commitment to undertake trainings for 48 hours. Additional info, they were advised not to manufacture the experience of their key technical personnel just to suit with the requirements. All the licenses and credentials of the key technical personnel must be current and updated. These attachments should be visible and have a clear copy. The BAC advised that the pledged project engineer for the project should not be conflicting with other projects, considering that the supervision will be difficult, and this is one of the reasons that will cause negative slippage. A project engineer can handle within the same jurisdiction but outside is quite questionable for his capacity to supervise. List of contractors, major construction, and lab equipment units owned, leased, or under purchase agreements must be supported by proof of ownership or lease or purchase and certification of availability of equipment from lessor, vendor for project duration. Certification of minimum laboratory equipment duly certified by any DPWH office as per DEO number 80, series of 1990, and reiterated for strict compliance as per DEO number 138, series of 2015, DEO 11, series of 2017, to ensure that the said certification is current and updated, which has only 1 year validity and still subject for post-qualification. Construction Safety and Health Program per DO 129 series of 2014. The preparation of the Safety and Health Program is component of the technical proposal as per department order, of which the limitation is 1 safety officer within limited jurisdiction on the limits not exceeding 50 million. However, per project must have 1 first aider, and it is not necessary approved considering that this will be resubmitted if they will be awarded with the project. The compliance of construction safety and health is now a law as per Republic Act 11058 dated August 2018. The safety officer 3 should be on site since this is one of the requirements during inspection of the personnel from DOLE. There will be a penalty if the safety officer is not around during the inspection of DOLE. The company should also conduct monthly, quarterly, yearly report as one of the OSH requirement in construction industry. The bidders were advised to prepare their own construction safety and health program. Now, for the omnibus sworn statement in the form, the omnibus sworn statement has 9 items. They should comply with a standard form wherein in the absence of one item, it will be rated as failed. For the affidavit of site inspection, inspection of the project site is encouraged in order to validate the site prior to dropping of bids to avoid future problem. Because the contractor has the responsibility to complete the project once awarded to them. For the financial proposal, this must be included also the bid form, the bid prices in the bill of quantities, detailed estimates including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals used in coming up with the bid. So mo na ang dapat sa inyong detailed no naagid na diha ang materials, ang labor ug ang material. Ang lump sum nato no mo na atong gikuan pod before di mo gid malikayan ang lump sum no kay per item naa man ang lump sum. Usually na ni sa mga building na nga projects maka duol lang gid mo sa planning pwede mo mangayo og breakdown sa lump sum no for kuan pod na siya for smooth implementation sa project no. So makaduol lagid mo unsay suot sa lump sum kay di man pare sa ubang item nga per square naa na dayon no kay per square man lump sum compromise pa nagdaghan kay materials. So quarterly, monthly cash flow and payment schedule must be present also in the financial proposal. Failure to attach any requirement or any missing, incomplete, or patently insufficient documents in the above mentioned is a ground for outright rejection for the bid and will fall as non-compliant. All documents to be submitted must be current and updated, otherwise it will be rated as failed. The technical and financial proposal must be in A4 size. Mo na tong standard sa atong bid documents. Well paginated with duly authorized signatures and book-bounded to avoid insertion. Further, the authorized liaison officer will be the one to drop the bids. The bidders will also advise to be responsible to their bid submitted in accordance with the checklist, and their technical and financial proposals should have proper pagination based on the number or order if the checklist including proper sequencing of documents. Their submitted documents should be done accordingly. If the legal A documents are attached, much better. However, if the documents are expired, attach receipt of proof that the renewal is on process. The bid documents of the bidders must follow the completeness of the bid, both in form and substance. The bidders were advised not to recycle legal documents of documents attached in the previous submission of bids which have signatures and countersigns of the back members. It must be all original signatures attesting certified copies. Affidavits must be original signature. For the joint venture, whatever guidelines complied by one bidder should also be complied by the other bidder. For example, if one has a PhilJEPS registration, then the other one should also attach their PhilJEPS registration. Leaving blanks on the bid proposal for the unit bid price of total cost per item is considered failed except indicated as zero or which is understood as free to the government. Bidders with lowest bid during the opening of bid is not a guarantee to be awarded. Why? Kay subject for evaluation pa man ang inyong gidrop. All bid documents are still subject for bid evaluation and post-qualification prior to be declared as lowest calculated responsive bid and subsequently to be awarded for the contract. The bidders are given 3 days upon bidding for file for a motion for reconsideration. The BAC emphasized on the deadline of the receipt by the BAC of bids, which is 10 a.m. only as stipulated in the invitation of bid. Kung mulapas na sa 10 a.m., so dili na makadrop ang bidders. No, ato ginang gistrikto og maayo, i-close na nato ang atong hulganan dere beyond 10 a.m. in the morning. For the criteria and procedure for eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification, and award. The BAC will determine the eligibility of the bidders based on the PhilJEP's registration on their legal aid documents, which should be maintained current and updated, including that of the Civil Works Application or the CWA, which focuses on the NFCC, work experience of single largest completed contract, similar to the contract project for bidding at hand. The BAC will ascertain based on the checklist of the required documents to be submitted using pass or fail criterion during the preliminary and detailed bid evaluation. In addition, after the opening of bids as per 2016 revised implementing rules and regulation under section 32.2, the BAC will conduct a detailed bid evaluation of all the bids using non-discretionary criteria wherein it requires the completeness of bid. Bids not addressing or providing all the required items in the bidding documents, including, where applicable, bill of quantities, shall be considered non-responsive and thus automatically disqualified. In this regard, where a required item is provided but no price is indicated, the same shall be considered as not responsive. But specifying a zero or a dash for the said item would mean that it is being offered for free of the government, except those required by law or regulations to be provided for. In case of discrepancies between bid prices and figures and in words, the latter shall prevail, no? Ang words ang mo prevail. Total price per item and unit price for the item as extended or multiplied by the quantity of that item. Unit cost in the detailed estimate and unit cost in the bill of quantities, the same will be applied to the detailed checking evaluation of the technical. The same will be applied, no, sa katong checking evaluation of the proposal. Then the bidder, rated as the lowest calculated bidder, will undergo post-qualification. Once post-qualified, the bidder will be determined as lowest calculated responsive bid and subsequently to be awarded for the contract. All bidders are of equal footing thereby. Bidders are advised to include all taxes, other fiscal and duties as mandated by law in all items of work, which details are shown in the detailed estimates. For the post-qualification, the bidders were advised to read Department Order number 127, Series 2018, and other issuances relative to this matter, since the BAC will be very keen and strict on the conduct of post-qualification process, considering that the concerned officials or employees, including the concerned BAC members, will be liable to the administrative penalties if this directive will not be followed. As per DEO number 127, the contractor will not be awarded with a certain project if it has a negative slippage of at least 15% in a single contract or at least 10% in two or more contracts. During post-qualification, even though the contractor is the lowest bidder, still it is subject for further verification to ensure the compliance of the requirements of the contract. With that, the office will be sending a letter being the lowest calculated bid, which within 5 days from the receipt of notice, the bidder must submit the latest income and business tax return and other appropriate licenses, permits, and other legal documents required and stated in the bidding document and as stipulated in the said communication. If not complied within 5 days, the next calculated lowest bidder will be notified. So, you're only given 5 days, no? On the other hand, the office will be sending a letter of inquiry on the committed failure on the bidding at hand. Thus, this communication must be acted upon the contractor on the required time frame. Otherwise, without action taken, it will be relatively result to sanction, which will fall on the three-strike policy, which a tantamount of blacklisting, suspension of the contractor. If the bidder will commit 3 mistakes in a year, then they will be recommended for further sanctions. Moreover, the qualification and experience of the key technical personnel is subject for verification as part of the post-qualification process. They are allowed to replace their key personnel technical, which they have to write a letter 14 days prior to the proposed replacement duly approved by the HOPE of the office. The BAC will be strict on the compliance of the equipment as part of post-qualification. No, it is stated as per DO number 127 series 2018. The contractor can attach in the proposal the list of equipment or agreement to purchase or proposal to rent or agreement on the delivery of the equipment so that the contractor will be assessed as compliant in terms of equipment requirement. The OR and CR must be present, no? Also, it must be current and updated, not expired. The equipment should be calibrated and TESDA accredited, and the registration should be current and updated. Whatever is stipulated in the BDS should be followed. An inspection will be conducted on the verification of equipment during other documents to be evaluated. Also, to be verified during post-qualification is the set of equipment pledged by the bidder. The bidder should in the submitted bid location of the equipment where they can be inspected. Ang atong DWG members kay mo inspect na sa inyong equipment pledge, no? If any piece of equipment is not in the specified location, then the bidder shall be post disqualified as per Department Order number 9, series of 2012. 10 calendar days upon receipt of the NOA or Notice of Award, the contractor must comply the following. Notice of award with the bidder signed for a joint venture, contractor's PCAB license, special joint venture license, and joint venture agreement. Performance security in any of the forms specified in the instruction of bidders. The performance security shall be in the amount not less than the required percentage of the total contract price in accordance with the following schedule. Cash or cashier's manager's check issued by a universal or commercial bank, which is 10%. Bank draft or guarantee or a revocable letter of credit issued by a universal or commercial bank provided, however, that it shall be confirmed or authenticated by a universal or commercial bank if issued by a foreign bank, which is 10%. Surety bond callable upon demand issued by a surety or insurance company duly certified by the Insurance Commission as authorized to issue such security, which is 30%. No? So, ang sa inyong construction methods, kay nabot ay form. No, follow lang ta sa form. Ang construction schedule in the form of PERT CPM diagram or precedence diagram and bar chart with S-curve, cash flow, contractors all risk insurance or CARE to be submitted during the period required on the submission of the required documents in the award of contract. However, the effective date is on the effectivity of the contract. Latest income tax and business returns duly stamped and received by BIR and duly validated with the tax payments made. Tax clearance from the BIR to prove full and timely payment of taxes. For a local contractor, certification under oath stating that a contractor is free and clean of all tax liabilities. For a foreign bidder, for the summary.
Okay, so that ends respect to the reminders to prospective bidders. So for those online, hope you have grasped or have heard on what are the reminders during the bidding process. So thank you very much for watching. Good morning.